Honey, why do you have that weird look on your face?
I have a weird look on my face.
You kind of do right now.
Well,
am I in trouble?
Well, you might be after saying that, but no, I think I'm just mulling something over in my mind right now.
Okay.
So, I called the restaurant to make our dinner reservations for New Year's Eve. And when the lady answered the phone, I asked for 8 p.m. And the lady says, well, ma'am, we don't have 8 p.m.
Well, that's understandable. It's New Year's Eve.
Exactly. So she came back and she says, we do have a 7:45.
Oh, good.
I said, that's perfect. I'll take 7:45. But then here's the kicker. She says, but ma'am, you may have to wait 15 minutes to be seated.
What's that all about?
Right? I mean, because then that would be 8 p.m., right?
Yeah. Did you book it?
I booked it.
Yay.
We're going to dinner.
Everybody, put on your fancy clothes. It's the Riveted.
With Chris and Gina.
Happy New Year! Na, 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 na,
Chris?
na, na,
Chris?
na, 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 na,
Chris?
na. Huh?
Chris,
What?
what are you doing?
It's Happy New Year time. I'm giving everybody the soundtrack of their new year. It's New Year's 2025.
Yes.
Da-na,
Baby,
na,
they're not.
na,
Chris,
na. Huh?
Stop.
What?
They are not going to be listening to this on New Year's Eve.
Why?
Because the podcast doesn't release until after New Year's.
Yeah, I just got excited. I'm sorry.
And you're always excited. Maybe we should pause this if you're
yes,
excited.
You are right. You are right about that, Gina. And okay, so that now that you brought me back to reality, we do need to do a public service announcement.
We do?
Yeah. Okay. So,
all right.
Welcome, listener. So we are recording this prior to New Year's Day, but you're most likely listening to it after New Year's Day.
Well, they are,
Yeah.
definitely.
So the public service announcement that we need to talk about is, so don't get confused about that, because we're going to be talking and recording like right now, and it's still 2024, but you're listening to it in 2025. And then on this episode, we're going to talk about like all of the awesome stuff we did on the podcast in 2024 and some of the exciting stuff we've got coming in 2025. And then to add more confusion to it is we're going to actually have our next couple episodes after this one that are in 2025. They were recorded in 2024.
Oh my.
So we just don't want anybody to get confused as to where
I'm confused, and I'm sitting here with you.
No. Well, this is difficult stuff, Gina, and we've been doing this podcast now for almost 6 months, and I feel like we're dialed in, but we're
getting there.
I just wanted to make sure that coming right out of the gate in 2025, that we didn't cause any confusion, that nobody was concerned for their locational safety based on the the timing of what they're listening to versus when it was recorded. I mean,
so what year is it right now?
it's still 2024.
Okay.
But we can't say that because they're listening to it in 2025. Right.
Okay.
Okay.
I think. So can we at least do this? We can agree that the listener is going to hear this episode in 2025.
That's correct.
Assuming that it was produced in 2024.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Okay. And then
I guess you just should have said that at the beginning.
There's a lot of things I probably needed to say at the beginning.
Well, I'm just excited for the new year.
I can tell. I'm glad you're excited.
Yes, and hope everybody else is excited as well, and glad that we have listeners. Glad that our podcast is being accepted into the Airstream community.
Yes. So maybe let's try this together on a countdown.
What are we going to do?
Let's wish them a Happy New Year's together on a countdown.
Okay.
You want to do that?
All
Okay.
All right.
1, 2.
No, you got to count backwards.
No.
You got to count
Oh,
backwards.
gosh.
New Year's Eve is counted backwards.
3, 2, 1. Happy New Year!
Yes, Happy New Year, everybody.
Hopefully that went over well.
I think it did.
Maybe they're like cleaning out their ears now going, oh my.
Yeah. So we are, we're all jazzed up and excited to talk about the new year. And this episode is pretty much just going to be a fun little chat about.
Basically, you're stuck with us on this episode.
Yes.
Because we wanted to just chat and talk about a little bit about where we've been and where we're going, right?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, the time has flown by because we started the concept of creating a podcast back in the spring, and we worked on it for a few months of ideas and concepts and learning and education and that kind of stuff. I did the majority of it.
Yes, you did.
But Gina was right there with me. And then, so we had a lot of work done in July to prepare and get everything set up. And then our first episode was launched in August.
It was the first Thursday in August, wasn't it?
I think so. I mean, I think it was August 15th, maybe. I don't remember the date.
You should know this.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'd have to look back. But
It's okay.
It was in August.
I think it was the 1st of August.
Yeah, and we've released an episode every week since then without fail.
Except for last week.
Except for last week, which was the Christmas week.
Well, we took a little vacation time last week.
Yeah.
Which was very nice.
We took off the Christmas week. So that was the only one we missed. But we've had fun. We had a lot of, right, Gina, like people, the first half dozen or so people that we had on the podcast were all friends of ours that we knew and knew that they would be excited to be invited to participate. And
yes.
And that was awesome.
It's the way that it has, no pun intended here, but the way that it has snowballed, not that it's wintertime right now, but the way that it has snowballed was that someone spoke to someone about it or someone listened to it and then they shared it with another person and it just started growing. And then we've had a lot of people approach us wanting to be on the podcast, which is very exciting.
Absolutely. Well, yes. I mean, we put it out there, we said, hey, raise your hand if you're interested in participating, because the concept of the podcast was to listen to everybody's amazing story that has to do with adding an Airstream to their life. And everybody's got one. Absolutely. And the folks that maybe are interested in Airstreams but still don't own one yet, they'll have their story, and they're welcome to come on as well too. This is a open conversation kind of podcast where we just love talking, just like we would be sitting around a campfire sharing travel stories. Well,
we love talking Airstream in general. But yes, you're correct on that. It's hearing the stories of how they got started, why Airstream, and since they've purchased their Airstream, what it's done to enhance their life.
Yes, and that's one of the main objectives, is to hear those positive things that come from.
And we have had some good ones on.
Absolutely.
Ooh, boy, have they been good.
We've had a lot of a cross section, I would say, of the entire Airstream community.
Yes.
Young, old. Older rigs, brand new rigs, all the different styles.
Well, hold on just a minute. Were you speaking of, when you say young and old, were you speaking of age or Airstream years?
Both and all, I guess.
You never get old. You just get better.
Yeah, no, that's true.
You get smarter and wiser.
That's a good way to put it. Very nice way.
Because I'm in that bucket there, buddy.
To soften that statement.
Yes, please do. Wow.
What makes you say you're in that bucket?
I'm in that bucket of the wiser and what did I call it?
Yeah.
Right. See, there goes my sonality in there.
No, yes. we just we're proud of what we've put out so far this year. It's come together nicely. We've had a combination of people that immediately said yes when we asked, as well as people voluntarily reaching out and saying we'd like to participate. And a lot of those folks are people that we've never met before, ever. And we now have new friends and a cross section of the country. I mean, people scattered all over the United States.
Yes, they are. And moving into the new year, they're going to be out of the country too, which is exciting. But we won't share too much about that right now.
Oh yeah, that's one of our upcomings.
Yes, I feel like though we do need to take a minute and just say to those of you who have been on to participate and talk with us on these episodes, a big thank you, right?
Absolutely.
Like, you guys are amazing. Your stories are amazing. And we feel so honored to have had that moment in time with you. And thank you so much for that.
Well, that was a good thing to say, Gina. I didn't even have that on my list to do.
Oh, you have a to-do list?
Well, not really like a list, but it was in my brain, and I should have. You did a good job.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Can I keep going?
Yeah.
So I'd also like to say, and this comes from Chris and I too, even though it's not on his to-do list, is the fact that to all of you listeners out there, we would like to thank you too, because without you, we don't have a podcast. And we do appreciate everything that you are doing in listening, your comments, the messages that you are sending us. We sure do appreciate that too, right?
Yeah, that was good too, Gina. So you're thanking not only the guest, but also the listeners.
Well, yes, because we don't have a podcast without listeners.
You're right.
Well, technically, we don't have one without guests either. But yes, it's very important.
That was smooth.
It is. And it's a balance, right? It's this big balance that we juggle in order to make it all work and be presentable.
Yeah. No, that's exactly right. And what's happening is exactly what we envisioned in putting together the plan, which was to let it be a conversational based podcast with us and others, not just you and me all the time, and let those conversations be about
that's right,
the passion that we all have for the Airstream brand and everything that comes along with it. And so far it's been going great, and we're proud of 2024, looking forward to 2025, and we hope that you are too, listener. And we got some fun stuff coming, and then obviously more creation to come that we don't even know what's coming yet.
But there's some really good things in the queue though, right? There's so many good fun things that we are going to share with y'all.
Well, I'll give you a teaser of yeah. So
you're going to tease them?
Yeah, just a quick teaser.
He teases me all the time, you guys.
But again,
hold on.
This one was recorded in 2024, even though it's coming out in 2025. So everybody prerequisite know that. But we believe, I mean, we don't have any stats to prove it, but we believe that the guests that are coming on next week probably have the longest and the heaviest Airstream rig in the country.
Really?
Possibly.
Known? Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty amazing.
They're a fun couple, so you guys will enjoy that.
So we have that coming, and then lots of other fun stuff. Amazing people that we have
an interview that's coming internationally.
Yeah,
which is exciting.
Pretty awesome. Yep. And then the one that we have that we've mentioned it before. We want to mention it one more time here. It's definitely going to come as soon as we possibly can. But the very first episode we ever recorded, we've yet to release.
Yes.
And it is a gentleman that we've known now for a little over 5 years. 96-year-old man, just getting ready to turn 97. Been an Airstreamer since the early 80s. Served in 3 wars. He's just a unique guy, and we had the opportunity to record with him and capture some of his thoughts. And the recording, it was amazing, but we wanted to polish it.
Well, and whenever he's speaking with us, his voice gets softer and softer and softer. So we've had to work on it a lot.
Yeah, and I'm probably being a little bit too critical in the edit, because I want it to just be perfect, because it
doesn't have to be perfect though, babe.
I know, but he's a guy that deserves for it to be perfect, or at least his thoughts to be preserved in a perfect way. And so we're trying to get that put together and get that out for you, because it's just such a cool conversation, I think, and it's about a lot of different stuff, even more so than Airstream, but he's just a one of a kind gentleman. So that one will definitely be coming as soon as possible in the new year.
So I'm going to hold him to that, you guys, because he keeps talking about it, but it is a difficult one to edit, and to, kudos to you for what you've been doing on it already, Chris, but
thank you.
It'll get there.
Good.
It will.
So one thing I wanted to bring up, I guess it's like a housekeeping note.
Oh, no.
I don't know if that's the right way to put it. But
housekeeping.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to talk about it out loud for a minute. So part of what we did when we created the podcast back in the summer was we created social media channels for it, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube primarily. Well, the thing that we're noticing is, we've had social media channels for the Riveted Fox community for years now.
Mm-hmm.
Facebook, Instagram, YouTube,
have.
TikTok. It appears that because those have been established for so long, the podcast social media channels aren't being utilized or discovered as much.
Well, maybe people don't really realize that they're out there.
Well, that's why I brought this housekeeping note up.
Because it would be a great way for them to speak to one another, right?
Well, it's just a way for them to see specific podcast related stuff.
Right.
And so our Facebook and Instagram channels for the Riveted with Chris and Gina are out there. We're going to link them in the description of this episode so you know exactly where to go. Obviously, we'd love for you to participate in all of our social media channels, but just we wanted to at least point out that so that you knew that we did have one specific to the podcast. And what we typically do is launch our episodes each week, and we put out a post about those episodes on the podcast social media channels, and then we'll share those posts in other places. So if you like and follow the Riveted with Chris and Gina on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, then you will you'll be able to get it immediately and know what we've got coming out on each week's
and we
episode.
share photos and stuff that are a lot of fun. I mean, they're amazing photos.
Yeah, we always ask. We get some fun pictures and stuff from our guests when they want to share them, and we put that out so you can see their rig. You can see a little bit about some of their adventures and stuff like that. So we wanted to talk about that a minute, because it does appear that most of our social media interaction is happening still on our Riveted Fox community, Facebook, Instagram, and
But
stuff
there's
like
nothing
that.
wrong with that. But let's try to direct some of the podcast people together, because it's a great way to connect with one another too. So, for one of the conversations we might have had was about vintage, then on the social media you can actually see some more information about it there and connect, right?
Yes, for sure.
Okay, I want to make sure I was saying that correctly.
You did. Good job.
I did. Good job. Ooh, pat me on the back.
And then, just for clarification too, you may be listening to this podcast on our website, therivetedpodcast.com, which is the listening page that our podcast hosting service provides us for all of our episodes.
That's nice.
You may be listening to it on YouTube. You may have found it on YouTube. There's lots of different places you can listen to the podcast, but if you're listening to it in one location, don't feel like that's the only place that you are required to listen to it. Like if you're, let's say you're listening to it on our landing page, therivetedpodcast.com, but you own an iPhone, it's probably more convenient for you to just listen to it straight on Apple Podcast. Or if
be adventurous. Try them all. See which one you like better.
Yeah, we're on Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music,
YouTube.
We do have a YouTube channel that you listen to the podcast on. And then therivetedpodcast.com is a web-based listening page that has all of our episodes listed there too.
They're everywhere. They're everywhere. You can't run from us.
Yeah. Do you know where that comes from, Gina?
Where does it come from?
Huh?
Where does it come from?
That's phrase, they're everywhere, they're everywhere.
No, tell me.
I thought you knew.
No, tell me.
Isn't that like a Ray Stevens thing? Didn't Ray Stevens do
like
that?
No, that's the streak. He does the streak, right?
Yeah. I don't know.
No, I don't know. Oh, I have to look that up now.
Okay.
I've got to find that.
All right.
No, you were just calling that out. I'm sorry to interrupt, but no, I'm not. But yeah. I thought they're everywhere. They're everywhere. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
So anyway, check out that. When you find the platform that you like the best, then obviously follow the podcast and you'll be notified when new episodes come out. We do try to send those out weekly. And fun new things to share on our social medias. You know what this means?
This means that we're in everybody's pocket.
Hopefully, yeah.
We're just a push of a button away.
Back in that reminds me back in like whenever it was 06 or 05. No, before that. It was when Steve Jobs first released the iPod, whatever year that was.
Mm.
And he was doing his presentation and he had it in his hand and he talked about how that would be like 1,000 songs in your pocket. And he put the little thing in his pocket. You remember that?
Yeah. No, I don't remember that, but I remember the iPod.
Yeah. Well,
I thought I was something else with my iPod.
With the little spinny wheel thing and the stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that was kind of his.
Remember when our daughter got one?
Oh, yeah.
We gave her one.
Mm-hmm.
She was so happy.
She was hot stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the technology is there, and we just find the platform you like the best and follow it, and then you'll be notified when we have new episodes come out. And then if there is a place there for liking or reviewing or giving us a star or
please give us a 5-star review.
whatever the highest star is what we ask of you, and but be honest as long as it's the highest rating.
Yes, and give us a 5-star, the highest rating there is, but then send us a message if there's an issue.
Oh no, don't say that, Gina.
Yeah, don't put it out there on. I don't know how this works.
No, but sure enough, I know that like on Apple, there is a place that you can give a rating, and then there's places that you could actually type in a review. We ask and welcome you to do that on whatever platform you listen to it on. I know Apple and Spotify have it, but
we just appreciate anything and everything that you guys could do for us.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
We are.
We hope that you are enjoying it.
Yep, and then. The thing that we asked a few episodes ago that we want to encourage as well is let's start kind of interacting and communicating with each other too. So we have info@therivetedfox.com email set up. We encourage you to send us a message to that email address, info@therivetedfox.com, and you can send in a comment. You can send in a question. If you send in a question that is for us, or maybe a question for one of our previous guests, or just any of the conversations that you hear where you want to comment or interact with it, send us to info@therivetedfox.com, and we'll acknowledge it and read it on a future episode.
That'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do that. That sounds like a lot of fun.
It is, yeah. Mm-hmm. And we're going to... it's going to be a work in progress, but we want to start doing some advanced notification of episodes, and then you might know in advance that we've got something coming up, and you can send in a message or a comment. Mm-hmm. We also obviously want you to say, hey, I'm interested in being on the podcast, and you do that by also sending us an email to info@therivetedfox.com. You also could go to our website, therivetedfox.com, and there is a get in touch page with a little contact form you can use if you'd like to fill that out. It comes straight to Gina and I either way.
See, this just goes back to what I was saying.
What?
They're everywhere. They're everywhere.
Yeah. So anyway, we're
just so y'all know that we are sitting in our Airstream, and outside it is this cold, misty rain. So we're just in here being all warm and toasty and silly today.
Yeah, that's true. And
we thought, what better time to record a podcast and talk to our listeners?
Yeah, and it's not 2025 yet.
It's not.
But you're listening to it in 2025.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I just thought of something.
What?
You know what we could do on New Year's Eve? We could.
Have we already done it yet?
No, we haven't done it yet.
All right.
No, we haven't done it yet.
I just want to make sure.
But we could call in a pizza at like 5 till midnight. And then when they deliver it, it'll be after midnight. And we can say, hey, we get this for free because we ordered it last year. Like, what took you so long?
What?
No.
Gina, it's about time we ordered this thing
I know.
like last
Where
year.
is it? You know, I wonder. We'll probably have to go out there and look and search it on the Google. But there's got to be all kinds of fun things that people have done because this is the only time of the year that you can do these kind of things.
Well, yeah, because
Yeah.
it only happens once a year.
Right. And I mean, thank goodness.
Yeah.
And we're only talking about like a minute. There's only like a minute in the difference of the year, right? And so many things could happen.
Well, that's a good idea, honey.
Yeah. Okay. We have had dinner since we did go out for New Year's dinner. So
Yeah.
since we recorded this, it was nice.
What?
What?
are you talking about?
Our New Year's dinner.
We didn't go out for New Year's dinner.
Oh, we didn't?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes. You don't be confusing me about it.
No, I'm saying, no, forget it.
Yeah.
See, we're recording in 25, but they're going to listen in. No.
No, Gina, just stop.
No, listen, slow down. We recorded in 24, but when they listen, it will be 25 after New Year's.
Oh, that's
and
why
we
you
will
said,
have already been to New Year's dinner.
Oh, I see what you meant by that statement now.
Golly, see, this is why he has to explain things to you guys, because in reality, he's having to explain it to himself to make sure he understands it.
I got it now. See, I wasn't following it, but I got it now.
It's okay, baby.
Okay.
I'll give you a minute.
All right. Couple other quick things before we wrap up. One is we invite you to go check out our page on Patreon. For those of you that may not know what Patreon is, it has been around a long time. It's a secure, simple way that you can interact and support the people that create the content that you love. So if you enjoy our podcast, if you're a member of our community and appreciate that, then dive into our Patreon page and check out everything that we have to offer you there.
Yeah, it's pretty special. I think, Chris, you put things up a few days earlier or something, and
early access for our episode launches, so you get to know what's coming down the pipe a few days ahead.
That's
and
pretty cool.
Any other cool, creative things we do inside the community gets posted there as well too. So check it out. We got a couple different levels to consider, and all the fun stuff that comes along with it. As little as $5 a month, it's the equivalent of a cup of coffee or a beer. You can help support us and support the podcast and allow us to keep putting this great content out for you. So we invite you to check that out. The Riveted Fox community on Patreon.
Yeah, and hey, while we're talking about that, let's go ahead and do the shout out to our newest Patreons.
Yes.
Okay, so let's do Loren from California. Thank you so much, Loren. And Barbara from Pennsylvania. Barbara, we appreciate everything you do. And we have Michelle in New Jersey. Woohoo, Michelle. Thanks so much. And Tab, we don't know where you are now. I think you're in Tennessee, but thank you so much for that, Tab.
Tab's all over the place.
He is on the move.
He was one of our early guests, and glad to have him as a Patreon. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
As well as everybody. So check that out, the Riveted Fox community on Patreon. We'd appreciate it. And with that, I think it's time to call it an episode, Gina. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
That was short and sweet.
Well, we're at the 27-minute mark right now, and we said we wanted it to be a half an hour.
Oh, we did?
Or I said it in my brain.
Well, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
So we got, 2.5 minutes?
Oh, well, I mean, if you want to go that...
What do you want to do? You want to sing to them?
No.
What do you want to do?
Well, we're done.
We are?
Yeah.
Aw, I like talking with them.
Well, we invite you to come on next week and listen to that episode. Super cool couple, amazing rig that they have, and fun conversation.
They're fun. Then everybody we have on here is fun.
Yep, spread the word, everybody. If you have other Airstream friends that don't know about the Riveted with Chris and Gina yet, let them know about it. And
tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell everyone, tell your children.
And then let us know.
Grandchildren.
Let us know if you want to come on as a guest. We'd love to have you.
Yes, we would.
All right. Well, we will
Thank
see
you
everybody.
guys. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Oh, here he goes again. I think they're beyond that. Wait till Valentine's and see what he does then, you guys.
Do you know that there were Valentine's cookies already out at the grocery store the other day?
Are you serious?
Yeah, the Christmas tree cakes are gone, and now they got them replaced with Valentine's cookies.
Oh, the Christmas tree cakes.
Oh, yeah. The little Debbie Christmas tree cakes.
Those were good.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they're gone. And
Valentine's
cookies.
They probably have
out.
swimsuits in the stores next week.
I don't know.
Probably. Yeah.
Crazy.
Ready for summer already.
All right. Well,
we love you guys.
Love you big time.
Thank you so much for your love and support, and continue listening.
We will see you down the road.
See you down the road.